Hey, you can just park behind me. You just leave your keys in. I'll move it. I just went live, so I'm going to jump off here. All right. All right. Love you. Bye. Live TV, what do? You answer the phone when your wife calls. So, thought we would try something a little different tonight. Kind of break up the monotony of the constant Jackson stuff, and we'll talk about that too, don't get me wrong. But I thought we would do a high school football, man. We've been looking forward to it so much that I did not want to miss an opportunity. And I'm a sports guy, but I'm not a sports guy. You know, like Jake Wimberly and Bo Bounds and all those guys, they talk sports way better than me. But I like sports as much as they do. Let me write this score 2 down here. I'm going to run through the current finals. Probably, I think everything's about wrapped up. I don't know if you'll call them some upsets, but there were some big wins tonight across the metro, across the state. And I think no bigger than what Clinton did out in Brandon tonight. Clinton beat Brandon 30-7 in Brandon. That's the worst loss to Clinton by Brandon since 2007. Cut that off. So, big win. Congratulations to Clinton. Brandon, keep your head up. We got a lot of friends out there. Hey, Ridgeland, big win for the Ridgeland Titans. They beat Pearl 34-14. That's a monster win for Ridgeland. That may be, public school wise, that may be the biggest win of the weekend. MRA beats JA 20-10. Shout out to MRA. I got several friends who have kids that play for MRA. I'm just going to kind of start at the top here. These are in no particular order. Petal 35, Brookhaven 14. Jefferson Davis County 13, Poplarville 6. Kemper County 35, West Lowndes 14. Again, MRA 20, JA 10. North Panola 20, Clarksdale 22. Madison Central comes back and wins 31-20 over Northwest Rankin. Germantown boat races Canton 38-6. Olive Branch 13, Holmes County Central 6. Pascagoula 24, George County 21. Hartfield right out there on Lakeland Drive. Boat races Park Place 51-28. Again, Clinton 30, Brandon 7. Ridgeland 34, Pearl 14. McGee 34, Collins 0. Looks like Oxford beat Grenada 37-20. Warren Central 17, Vicksburg 7. Big win for Warren Central. I'm just kind of strolling through. I built me a high school football tweet, whatever you want to call it, Twitter list. So, look, I don't bogart any of this information. If you're looking for some good follows on Twitter to keep up with high school football, Tyler Cleveland, Brandon Shields, bye, love you. Brandon Shields, Funnuttle, Super Talk, bunch of MS Gridiron, bunch of good follows there. So let's see here. Oh, West Lauderdale 49, South Jones 28, late in the 4th. So, look, it's all over the place. I'll try to get a full recap of the scores kind of as they come in. And I was really concerned about the Metro scores. And unfortunately, there is no JPS. And we plan on reminding JPS of that every week. And what's really sad is, it does not appear that anybody within JPS, fan base, or current students and family care. Anytime I say something about it, I get attacked. So, it's like Pac-10 football. They're okay, but they don't play, nobody cares. Like, nobody is fighting for Pac-10 football to come back. Nobody in the Pac-10, nobody outside of the Pac-10. It's a very strange deal. You can tell it's just very, very political, man. Democrat areas, just, they're like, whatever, let's lock it down, buckle down, and, we'll see y'all when it's over. So, Anyhow, congratulations to all the kids that won tonight. Big wins for you guys. Thank y'all. I think that's what I want to say from myself, from everybody that has kind of been anti-corona, fear porn, corona bro. You know, all of us who have fought and raised hell and said it would be okay. You know, thank y'all for playing football. Thank you to the coaches, to the players, to the administrators, to the family members. Thank you to Tate Reeves for letting the kids play. Let's give everybody a round of applause. Win, lose, or draw. Everybody was, I don't want to sound corny. I'm not an everybody gets a trophy guy, but everybody was a winner tonight. Very, very proud of everybody that's been out on the field the last couple weeks. I think MRA, man, MRA is probably off to the best start. They beat Deion Sanders, Trinity Christian out of Texas last week, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Anyway, beat Deion. Then they beat JA tonight. So MRA is looking really good. My brother from another mother, Chad Wesley's son, plays for MRA. So good deal there. I got some other friends whose kids are heavily involved out there in football. So just really excited for them. I got a lot of friends in Brandon, hate it for them. Got a lot of friends in Pearl, hate it for them. So we'll get back to some high school football here at the end. I wanted to start off with that, the fun stuff. If y'all see any scores that I didn't mention, drop them in the comments here. See, we got about 40 people watching. That's cool, man. It's Friday night. It's about 10 o'clock. You know, this stuff lives forever once it's online, so we don't have to have a huge crowd. Definitely appreciate you spending your Friday night with me. So, did anybody see where the mayor decided to address the crime wave in Jackson today? Did a little press conference. That's his thing. That's what he does, is press conferences or videos and highly edited, nothing live, you know. Anyway, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole there. But he just says, you know, calling for people to do more, blames it on friends and family members getting angry at each other. You know, like somehow that's different than it being violent stranger on stranger. I just don't ever, I've never agreed with that. Murder's murder. So what, is it 90% of car accidents happen within 3 miles of your home? It's still a car accident. Does it really matter where it happens at? Of course it have a better chance of it being somebody you know, or a family member, or a car accident happening within 3 miles of your home. Statistically, you're around those people in those places more often. That's where it's going to happen at. More often than not is by someone familiar or at somewhere familiar. That's just how that works. You know, if it starts in the home, we'll go through all that. Y'all know where I stand on all that. Quit killing each other. Quit shooting each other. Find another means to work it out. We've got to get better at that. Wherever that starts, in the schools, at home, then in the schools. Conflict resolution, the word I'm looking for there. Craziness, man. We're on pace for, I think it's changed to 122 murders for the year, according to U.S. Attorney. Oh God, what's his name here? Mike, I can't never remember the names. Mike Hurst. U.S. Attorney Mike Hurst. So it says we're on pace for right at 122 murders for this year. The recent spike in violence where friends and family are turning anger into violence, harming each other, when even a 6-year-old... Okay, this is a quote from Lumumba. I kind of bounced around there a little. Lumumba says, the recent spike in violence where friends and family are turning anger into violence and harming each other, when even a 6-year-old child is a shooting victim, are signs that our community is in a crisis. No shit. Our community's in a crisis. With so much of the violence happening between people who know each other well, we know that in these cases, police can only make arrest after the harm is done. No. Look, man, I talk to police. You can put more of them on the streets. There's so much more you can do. You talk about all these violence intervention plans and this, that, and the other. Man, I'm disgusted with this. This says Jackson's violence per capita is 3 times more than Chicago. which I've been telling y'all that. It's actually more than that. But, so anyway, the U.S. Attorney Mike Hurst, this is a guy that I wish would run for mayor. This is the adult of all adults. If we could get this guy to run for mayor, hell, to run for governor, this is what we need around here. But I'm going to drop this story. Well, no, I'm not. But I'll do it later. Anyway, you can see it on WLBT.com. U.S. Attorney says strategies to curb violent crimes can't happen without more JPD officers. I had a JPD officer reach out to me today and brought to my attention from a press conference from around 2018 that Lumumba did, and his sister was in the background holding a defund the police sign. And then there was, and it may have been the same one that the Cypher Voice shared today. I kind of glanced at it late in the evening, but there's another one talking about Don't Forget New Africa and some other stuff. Why are these people here? What are they doing? I know Cypher's going to do a big thing on that. He may have done it tonight. I've been watching football all night, but I really got questions. I think we're beyond the shadow of a doubt. No, we're not voting for Chokwe, are we? Is anybody voting for Chokwe? Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down in the comments if you're voting. If you can vote in Jackson, are you voting for Chokwe? If so, why? I know why not. I'm just curious why if you are. People talk about defund the police. I've been saying it for months now. Look no further than what's going on in Jackson and with our police department. If you have any inclination of what defunding the police looks like, or you want to know what defunding, they've been slowly ripping the JPD apart and defunding it for years. And it's what's happening to Jackson. So, man, it's wild. It is wild. I kind of bouncing around the night. Just a little Friday night free for all. The only notes I took were the scores. I got some websites pulled up here, a few stories I want to go over. Every now and then I'm going through social media, and I'll see something that catches my attention. Well, that's every day I see things that catch my attention. Sometimes they have my name attached to them, so it really catches my attention. We had our guest over the other night, Shannon, and we talked about this documentary about Jackson we're going to do. Kind of the rise and fall and rise again in certain parts of Jackson. We're going to interview business owners who have stayed, business owners who have left, business owners who shut down because stuff got so bad. Well, there's a force within Jackson that really does not want to see this happen. For whatever reason, it's kind of weird. People think that they get to dictate what I do. And nobody gets to dictate what I do but me. Nobody. And this guy says, this white liberal dude, says that, sure, documentaries can be made about Jackson, but Save Jackson shouldn't have anything to do with it. So, 43 years of living here. 15 years of owning a business. My family owned another business for 40 years. Still work here. Raised my family here. But I shouldn't be the one to take part in a documentary about Jackson. I mean, so it's one or two reasons. Is it because I'm white? Or because I'm pro-Trump? Or both? Or if I was a Fondren liberal, would it be okay? These are questions that I have. I know the answers. So they're rhetorical questions. The answer is it's because I'm a Trump supporter or a conservative. So therefore, I have forfeited all my rights to have an opinion about Jackson, is what they assume. They assume wrong. So when I see stuff like that, and it's like every time I think about taking my foot off the gas, it's like, man, what am I fighting for? I really deep down, I know that it's going to be really hard to make a difference. But it's when I see little smart-ass, snooty, white liberals, and then there's a certain sect within the black community, too, that do it. And they throw gas on my fire when they tell me I can't do something or I shouldn't do something. This page would have probably been nothing more than a blurb. You know, posted a couple pictures of empty buildings, and I'd have got refocused on work and life and everything else. I mean, I have met my wife and gotten married since we started this thing. You know, most normal human beings would have laid it down and focused on being a 43-year-old adult with a career. But the passion has taken over. But I think what really, really pushed me to do something in spite of things was when local former rapper Kamikaze decided to tell everybody I was a racist because I dared to post pictures of empty buildings of Jackson. And that just really, well, between that and Scrap Dirty, the DJ, deciding to tell me that I wasn't going to be allowed to make money in Jackson and run a page like this. I'm like, oh yeah? So anyway, tell me I can't do something and I'm going to show you that I can. And you're just going to make me more mad and more determined to put the pedal down and keep going. I don't care what they do. They can make all the money in Jackson they want. Does not matter to me. But don't tell me what I'm going to do and not going to do. So, you know, he just... So weird. Is that not... Am I the only person that think that's weird? Is being a realist the same thing as being a racist? It's just, like, again, I feel like telling y'all that water's wet and the sky's blue is just a normal thing, and it's called being honest. I don't understand where discussing the downfall of a city has anything to do with race. And we talk about it all the time, but it gets brought up all the time. So it's what I talk about has nothing to do with race. I don't care about the race side of this. I don't care if Jackson's 90% black, 85% black. None of that matters to me. I don't care any of that. I just care that it's gone to hell and I still live here. And nobody that lives here seems to give a shit. So it's so weird. It's like caring is a bad thing. Like, I really want one of these people to come and explain to me how caring about the city is a bad thing. And just being to the point where I can be brutally honest about it and not stick my head in the sand and pretend it's a wonderful place when it's not. You know, I don't blame all the murder on COVID, on gun shows, on friends and family having disagreements. Man, I have had plenty of disagreements with my friends and families, and we have never shot each other. I mean, I'm sure some of them wanted to shoot me. You know, especially after enough Fireball. But, you know, so I don't know, man. You can't say it's because of poverty. It's just sometimes people are just bad people, and they're raised by bad people. And there's not enough police around. So I'm going to keep fighting. I'm not going to be discouraged by any punk that says I should quit or I shouldn't do something. That is like telling me, do it. So I don't know. If you want me to quit, tell me I'm doing a great job. That's probably the best way to get me to take my foot off the gas. But if you don't like what I'm doing, don't tell me, because it's just like fuel to the fire. All right. Did y'all see where the man... So let's take it back a little bit. It was back in May, I believe, when the Simpson County deputy got murdered by the man who was escaping the crazy house down there. I can't remember the officer's name off the top of my head. I've actually got it on a different notepad here. The elderly Simpson County deputy. Well, in that time, there was a man that filed a false report with Simpson County saying that he had saw the shooter go another way and had shot at some kids or something. Well, he got arrested for falsifying a report to law enforcement, pled guilty, and got sentenced today to a 3-year sentence at the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility in Rankin County. Reading off WLBT.com, Sean Michael Tullis lied to officers. Okay, here it was Deputy James Blair. So Sean Michael Tullis lied to officers about seeing Joaquin Blackwell, the man suspected in the murder of Simpson County Deputy James Blair back in June. He served 3 months for the misdemeanor in Simpson County and was picked up by Rankin County Sheriff's Department and adjudicated for a charge of attempted credit card fraud. Tullis pled guilty and is now serving 3-year sentence in MDOC. Okay, so the 3-year sentence is actually for the credit card fraud. But it's because he got adjudicated because of the misdemeanor. Mm-hmm. So don't lie to the police, especially about a cop killer. Lesson learned. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? Oh man, anyway, this guy, I'm looking at his picture here on WLBT. He got a big cut on his head. Looks like he's got that Pookie done messed up look on his face. Pookie done messed up. Man. Like I said, it's just a little free-for-all Friday, man. We're just kind of winging it here. I'm trying to read y'all's comments as much as possible. The wife just got in. She had to go pick one of the girls up from work out on the other side of town. So she's chilling on the couch. I believe she's watching, reading the comments. Mm-hmm. We were talking about a little high school football. Did y'all see where the girl took her little Yorkie to the dog spot in Ridgeland? And I use Ridgeland loosely. It's really on County Line Road on the Ridgeland side, right next to Gringo's Tacos, a groomer. I don't know who's right or who was in the wrong or whatever. I watched the story, came away from it more. Gringo's Tacos. It does. It sounds.
That is not. I'm sure what it's called.
No. It does. It sounds like Gringos when you say it fast. I think it was kind of a play on words.
Okay.
And I think it was intentional. So it's right next to Gringo's Tacos, right there in the entrance to North Park, there on County Line. So she takes her Yorkie there, and I think I know the girl. I'm pretty sure I've met her before. She looked very familiar, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. So she leaves the dog, and the guy that works at the dog spot comes back from lunch, opens the door, and the dog runs out and shoots across County Line, never to be seen again. Man, all I could think about was if we took one of our dogs, and I got one little dog, Rocket. You open the door or the fence, he's gone. And you got to chase him around and hope he don't get ran over. And he eventually will come home. But we don't let him stay out long enough to wait for him to come home because I don't want him to get ran over. Because he doesn't know about cars and all that stuff. So I just been thinking about it, how pissed I would be if my dog got away. So, man, that's crazy. I see Shannon's in here. What's up, brother? What's up, Candace? What's up, Miss Bernita? How y'all doing? Hey, look, I want to give a special shout out to somebody here. I was at work the other day. I can't remember if I told y'all this story or not. I was at work the other day, not last Saturday, 2 Saturdays ago. I had to walk back to the back of the shop for something, and the shop's not open on Saturdays, but some of the mechanics come to work and do some stuff, and I hear this lady, she's like, hey. I'm looking around like, nobody's talking to me. There's not supposed to be anybody back here. She's like, Save Jackson. Or Clay, or something like that. I'm pretty sure she said Save Jackson. I was like, oh no, somebody recognizes me. And she comes up and just starts talking to me, talking about watches the show, and then her husband comes up. And we just have a big old family affair back there for about 20 minutes talking about Save Jackson and stuff. And so I want to give a shout out, and I don't know their last names, but it's HL and Trisha. I work with their son. Well, I work with HL's son, and I believe Trisha is HL's girlfriend. So I just wanted, if y'all are watching, shout out to you. They own a bar there on Highway 80, down that way somewhere. I try to keep people's businesses out of this unless they want me to mention them, and I don't know the name of the bar, so I'm just going to leave it out. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Really cool when I meet people in person, which has been going on more and more. The more we do these videos, the more I'm out in public, and I don't know if it's because I got a racing stripe in the middle of my beard that just makes me very recognizable. But more and more people stop me and talk to me about Save Jackson stuff, so that's really cool. You would think I'd run into a lot more assholes than I do, as much hate as I get from this, but so far so good. Everybody's usually pretty cool. It's a lot to be said for meeting people in real life and off the internet. You actually have a chance to talk to people. They're like, oh, I thought you would be an asshole. I'm like, no, man, I'm really a nice guy. Unless you're rude first. So, I just thought that was cool.
I think people think you're just so blunt sometimes.
I am blunt. I'm blunt because I think you get to a point. You know how...
I'll sit in the chair, but I don't know.
Yeah, Crystal's moving to the chair, but we're just going to try to stay off camera a little. You don't have to. I just think I saw her pulling the chair away. I got the death stare. I think as you get older, we've all got like, crazy grandpa that just says anything and everybody's like, oh, that's just crazy grandpa. I think I have reached crazy grandpa age at 43. At least in my mind, I hope I've reached the point where people like, they just think I'm too senile to punch. And they're just like, Clay's just being crazy, But I think it's okay to be blunt. I would much rather people be blunt with me. I mean, there's a way to be blunt and
you have to have tact.
And have some tact. Yeah.
Yes.
It's when you're talking into a camera and a microphone, it's a little different than talking to somebody face to face. I mean, I know y'all see me and I see y'all commenting, but it's different. Like, if you're sitting down beside me, man, there's body language. You can talk to each other. You can shake hands, stuff like that. And it makes it a little easier. So doing this and trying to keep your train of thought is a lot harder than it looks. I mean, I used to pick up my buddies that did radio and stuff. And then I started doing this, and you have to talk to yourself for hours or an hour, however long. So having a co-host... or somebody around you to interview with, it makes it a lot easier. Anyway, so I just say all that to say, it's been cool meeting you guys in public. Been getting out a little bit more. Well, I've been getting out, shopping and whatnot, but I see people are starting to get back out. Let's see, Zoom. Yeah, Susan, I haven't Zoomed. I am fixing to start working this. They have a deal here where you can pull people in on the comments and actually drag them into these live feeds. And we are going to play with that some. So, we got some stuff planned. This Sunday, let me mention this before I forget. Richard Spooner, or everybody calls him Spooner, ran for sheriff. Been in law enforcement locally for around 30 years. He's retired now. He's going to come over, sit in the co-captain chair, and we're going to chop it up for a while. He's got some great stories to tell. I think Sundays are really shaping up to be the Sunday Conversation, Joe Rogan style show, where you just sit around and talk to folks about all kind of different stuff. And we'll just kind of see how that goes and go from there. But really looking forward to having Spooner over. I'm efforting a couple other things that I think would be really cool. So we'll just see how it all works out.
Brandy told me to check my messenger.
It's about the dog he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. I see somebody, Kimberly said Swatter's name. Swatter would be a blast, wouldn't he? I hadn't seen...
Who's Swatter?
Swatter's an old friend of mine. I hadn't seen Swatter in a while, but I'm sure Swatter would come over. He knows where I live.
Do you have that in yours too? That's from Brandy.
I had to go back and read all that. I'm not going to do it on the radio.
Oh, read it, sort of.
You mean the Cliff Notes? Mm-hmm. Thank you for sending that, Brandy. Yeah, Miss Bernita, I just seen your message here saying hello. So again, hello. Thank you for watching. Shannon, thank you. Ann, David, Lance, Amber, Chip, what's up, brother? Tanya, Cassandra, Preston, Johnny, what's up, dude? Tanya, Richard, John Fuller, The assholes come out at night. They do. They do. Richard, I'm always running across your YouTube videos, man. I wish you would find some more old footage and load it up, man. You've got some of the coolest old footage on YouTube of Jackson, of anybody else, period, hands down. Brandy, Posey, how you doing? Judy, Jennifer, William, Kimberly, Lee, Billy, Leah, Susan, Terry Wayne, what's up, dude? Raven, Amy, David, Denise, Courtney, Kathy. Just giving some running down, man. Giving the shout outs. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're just tuning in, I'm gonna run back down these high school scores, at least the ones I got written down here real quick. We'll hit the local ones. MRA 20, JA 10, Madison Central 31, Northwest Rankin 20, Germantown 38, Canton 6, Hartfield 51, Park Place 28, Clinton 30, Brandon 7, Ridgeland 34, Pearl 14, McGee 34, Collins 0. Man, the Rankin County powerhouses, Brandon and Pearl both lost. I mean, that's like when State and Ole Miss lose in the same weekend. It's like can't nobody talk smack. You just gotta. Who didn't get beat as bad gets to kind of.
One.
Yeah, won. So it looks like Pearl won this week in the not beat as bad category. God, man.
Who did they play though?
Pearl played Ridgeland, and Brandon played Clinton. Yeah, so all four good teams.
Yeah.
I think the bigger upset's probably Ridgeland beating Pearl, at least by that big of a difference. That's a big win for Ridgeland. So, just my opinion. Lee Andrews, what's up, brother? Lester Perkins, how you doing? Let's see. Yeah, Shannon, I see you joined a little late, man. I was talking about your buddy on your post earlier. Talking about we shouldn't be the ones making a documentary about Jackson. I went on a nice rant about that. So, all right. Let's see here. Let's see if there's any updates on some scores. Picayune 30, Meridian 20. It's Coach Stogner's first game as head coach is a W after a hard-fought game in Meridian. Next week, I'm reading a tweet here. Next week, we'll be at Lee Triplet Stadium hosting Gulfport. Safe travels. Prentice Christian 26, Kemper Academy 20 in overtime. Let's see. Okay, so I got all the scores right here. When you try to piecemeal this together on Twitter, it's a lot harder than you may think. Okay, I'm going to run through these real quick. Y'all bear with me. Yazoo City Indians 8, Yazoo County Panthers 0, East Webster Wolverines 48, Vardaman Rams 21. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to run through this. This is way too much mumbo jumbo. I'm going to copy the link here, and I'm going to post it in the comments, and y'all can run through it. Y'all would rather do that than hear me do it anyway. But you can find that at supertalk.fm/scores. And they got a full list of the Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance high school school board show. Anyway, I don't know why I'm reading their sponsors off. Farm Bureau, if you're looking to sponsor somebody, we're here. Well, man, guys, girls, I don't have a whole lot to talk about tonight, man. I really just kind of wanted to get on. I've been saying I was going to talk high school football, and I wanted to stick to it. It's so easy to work late on a Friday and not do it, and not do what you say you're going to do. You're like, I don't know, it's Friday night, I'm just going to chill. But when you say you're going to do something and you have supporters and followers and friends and family that enjoy watching these things and stick with you, the least you can do is do what you say you're going to do. So I think a short, sweet show is the best way to go. Let me run through my little hit list of websites here. Look, tell you all the sites I follow and keep up with everything. Jackson Jambalaya is great for local stuff. The website is, you can either go jacksonjambalaya.com or it's kingfish1935.blogspot.com. Kingfish does a great job. Of course, WLBT, all the local news channel sites. WLBT is my personal favorite. Outkick.com, they've got some good national stories and sports stories. I get random news from all over the place. All your national news sources on Daily Wire, Daily Caller, Breitbart, Fox News, CNN, anywhere. And just whatever I see, I try to confirm anything that I share because I'm not a fan of fake news on either side of it.
Kimberly said college. We have college tomorrow.
We do. USM got skull drug last night. Did not mention that. They got embarrassed by South Alabama at home. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But yeah, some college football tomorrow. But the big stuff starts when the SEC kicks off on September 26th. Yeah, Jennifer Brandon Shields on Twitter is a great, great follow. That's actually who I got most of my scores from tonight was Brandon Shields. Great, great follow. Jake Wimberly told me about Brandon this week. I had to hit up Jake. I'm like, I need some good high school folks to follow. So, stole all my information from him. I thought I mentioned him. But, look, shout out to former Mississippi State player Brent Rooker. Got called up to the Twins today. Made it to the show. Got his first MLB hit. It was an RBI to left field that scored Jorge Polanco from second and gave the Minnesota Twins a 1-0 lead in the top of the third. So, congratulations to Brent Rooker. If you watch college baseball here, you're very familiar with who Brent Rooker is. So, always cool to see a former Mississippi player make it to the big leagues, even though I don't watch much Major League Baseball personally.
Kimberly asked, how about that girl that was spray painting cars and tearing up
Oh, God.
That was...
Man, look, you can find that one on Jackson Jambalaya also. I didn't share it. I met my quota for being called bad names on the internet. But go to Jackson Jambalaya, and the name of the story is She Mad. And it's got the video there.
She mad, man.
She's stupid is what she is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, brain dead. Oh, man. Man. COVID. So, what was it? I got the numbers in my phone here. They were down. I mean, the numbers were up for cases, but the deaths were way down. 823 new cases. I'm guessing most of that's because they're testing in schools. 23 deaths. So deaths are coming down. Actually, let me check that. Okay, yesterday it was 751 and 10 deaths, but they're staying in that area. So I'll take it. They had to postpone the numbers today because I guess they weren't high enough. They had to figure out a way to get them higher. I'll be so ready for this to be over. I'm so over this.
Exhausting.
So speaking of being over stuff, shout out to my friends Frankie Bones and Mandy Bones that own House of Pain Tattoo. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the staycation. Find somewhere local to stay at home and have a little vacation here. Mm-hmm. They found a cool little was a shop turned into a cabin or like a barn, barn dominium.
But it's on 8 acres.
Yeah, it's a barn dominium out in Brandon. I'll share the link. Super cool. So I saw it, and I think me and Crystal tagged each other in it simultaneously. Mm-hmm. And I didn't waste no time. I went and booked it for a weekend, the weekend of September 26th, so the college football kickoff weekend. So we're going to watch the state LSU game there. It's got zip lines. Yeah, it's got a theater. It's got zip lines, a theater. It's just super cool, man. It is not expensive at all. And what was really cool was I sent the invitation thing, and I guess my email has my picture, and then I guess obviously my name. And as I was messaging back and forth with the people, one of the messages was, "Please save Jackson." And I just thought it was so cool that just completely random off of Airbnb, I run into somebody that watches the show. So I thought that was really, really cool. But so we're gonna share that. And if y'all are looking for something cool to do, you and the wife just get away, girlfriend, boyfriend, kids, whatever. You ain't got to go too far to do it. Less than $100 a night, and it's got a huge projector screen, the movie theater style stadium seating with the big leather recliners.
Got a bar in it.
Got a bar. Of course, everywhere's a bar if you want it to be.
Well, it's got a zip line.
Yep, definitely zip lines.
It'll be fun. We're gonna take our puppy.
Yep, gonna take Bird. Miss Bernita says, "Say it, Clay. Pandemic, plandemic, scandemic." Hey, look, absolutely. We hate it for anybody that's been sick or passed away, and we don't. By no means are we downplaying that. But talk about taking something and milking it for every last thing it was worth. I mean, I've never seen a country so willing to
Give up everything.
put itself out of business to keep a few people from getting sick. So, just crazy, crazy, crazy. Trying to think here, man. I'm trying not to keep y'all long, man. I know it's Friday night. It's getting late. Surely y'all got other stuff you want to do than hear me run my mouth. See if I'm missing anything. I've shared a bunch of stuff on the Save Jackson page. I found some older posts from when we first started the page. Old Funtime Skateland stuff of what it looks like now and what it used to look like. I just shared that a minute ago. Pretty cool stuff. The Mississippi National Guard, the 114th Military Police, came home yesterday. So it was approximately 90 soldiers from their National Guard returned home Wednesday. I'm sorry, not yesterday. Back from Kuwait. So glad to see you guys home. I know a couple of them. I don't want to sit here and tell you I'm best friends with any of them, but Jason Mills, a couple other cats that JPD guys, whatnot that I saw came off the plane. So glad everybody made it home safe. Thank y'all for what you do. Glad you're home. Those welcome home photos with family and kids all running and hugging and stuff like that. Those always get you in the feels.
I love that.
Hey, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, it's Labor Day weekend. According to the governor and Dr. Dobbs, we're all going to get coronavirus, and
If we leave the house.
they're going to have to shut it back down if we all leave the house. But we're going to roll the dice. Elton Swamp, man, it has got to be packed out there. The big ATV off-roading thing right there at Elton Road. I was coming home and I ended up skipping the Elton Road exit and going up to Byram and backtracking because there were so many people getting off at Elton. This was at 7 o'clock. Four-wheeler trailers, RV trailers, campers, everything, all going over there. It is going to be a party at Elton Swamp this weekend. I was actually jealous. I saw my buddy Bo Rogel riding around doing a live video on his off-road, whatever you call it.
Vehicle.
I don't know if it's a Razor or Ranger or whatever, but it looked like fun. I miss those days, but I don't miss fixing stuff that I tore up, or the dirt and dust and mosquitoes at the Pearl River in the summer. But hey, teach their own. I wish I was out there, but it's funner to wish it from home sometimes.
But you're home with your wife.
Yes. Home with the wife. Let me see here. I'm just kind of running through the Facebook real quick, see if anything is jumping out.
Somebody said police reform is needed.
Police reform is needed. There's a lot of work needed. Period. And what do you
We very
say?
much support the police, though.
Yeah, police reform is needed, but you need to support them as well. I mean, these are our friends and family and neighbors. You can say police reform is needed, but knowing how to act when you get pulled over is needed just as bad or worse. I mean, does not have to be a confrontation. Just give them your stuff. Yes, sir. No, sir. And comply and go about your business.
A lot of people have a problem with authority, period.
And
that's a part of what's going on right now.
Sure. I have a problem with authority. I don't like it. Nobody likes authority. But the police are the rule of law, and that's just the way it is. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel at this point. You know? I mean, it never ends well. You know, don't become a hashtag. You know? You just... Yeah, don't become a hashtag. I'm not going to add to that. You know what I mean? Don't die. Come home, man. Live to fight another day. But don't get on social media and lie about it either, like the sports writer up in Oxford. What an idiot. You know, I mean, you got to know at this point that police have body cams.
You see what Sonny said?
No.
I told my wife the other day we will not live in a city or county that there is no police/law enforcement.
No. I mean, I'm not long for this city either. I mean, I'm not going to quit doing this. They're not going to get rid of me that easy. But it does get to a point where you have to say, you know, how long can you stay here and keep giving up the amenities and the best years of your life to a city that doesn't want you or care for you? You know, I mean, you can only fight this fight and stay mad for so long and get nothing in return but grief.
Except for people that have already left that just wish it would
yeah.
do better.
I mean, we are rock stars outside the city limits. And we're like, and hated within. It's the weirdest thing. Like, the people we're fighting for and allegedly with are the ones that hate us the most. And the people who have already left, you know, appreciate us the most. It's the strangest thing. It just goes back to, you know, somewhere along the lines, being a realist got mistaken as being racist, and just people take it the wrong way. It's like people have gone so long without having to hear anything they don't want to hear because of social media and everything, that people just they think the second they hear they have to see something they don't want to see, that it's somehow bad.
Somebody said, I won't comply with unlawful orders by police. I'll give them as much hell as they give me.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, you're rolling the dice.
That's your right, but sort of. But it's not I wouldn't suggest it. I would suggest going about it a different way.
Yeah.
There's a way to do things, and there's a way to not do things. Even if you're in the right, there's a way to do things, and if they're in the wrong.
Yep. I agree. I mean, you just... Look, man, there's been a lot of times I've had to bite my tongue, and I've had my butt whooped by the police before. I mean, it just... What do? You know, you want to get it done again? I don't know. My privilege was not available that night that they decided to whoop my ass. You know? So, I don't know. I just, at that point, I was like, I'm not fighting this fight.
Well, not everybody's saying everything they do is right.
Yeah.
You have to go about it the right way.
And you don't have to back the blue, but I think some, you know, respect the blue to respect yourself by respecting them. You know, just don't do shit to get pulled over. You know, I mean, I think that's really the thing here is if you got warrants, get them taken care of. I mean, just take care of your business, and that'll take care of a lot of this. I think what it is, people panic because they know they got warrants. Usually. I'm not saying this is the case all the time, but people panic because they know they're about to go to jail for the night.
Okay, Shannon said, I do believe that black people are discriminated against when it comes to the police, but I definitely think police need a lot more training. Sure.
You know, and I think people need training with dealing with the police. And I mean, I think that's something.
I think it starts at home. It's called home training and learning manners and what's right, what's wrong, you know, and like you were saying, you don't like authority, but you have to, you know, sometimes deal with it, and then you move on. And I think, you know, that's all instilled in most of us at a young age. And I don't think it has been for a while in a lot of people. And I think that's part of the problem.
Agreed. You know, just sometimes you just gotta, again, just, it sucks, man. Nobody likes feeling like you're getting punked by anybody, you know, whether it be another man, woman, police, or whatever. But, you know, pick your battles. You know, you typically aren't going to win one against the police. You know, they say don't fight City Hall. I keep trying, you know, but City Hall ain't the police. You know, I respect the cops. You know, I try. It's a weird battle. You know, it's like you're fighting the cops' bosses while you're trying to be friends, trying to respect the cops and kind of what they do. But I get it, man. I get when people don't like the cops. I understand that to an extent, but also understand that, you know, you get to a point where you have to pick your battles. And you know, if you got kids especially and you're an adult, man, you got to be more concerned with getting home to those kids than you do.
But don't you think when we were kids, like, we didn't like the cops because we felt like they were picking on us, right?
Oh yeah, and you know, you look back in hindsight.
We didn't think they were trying to kill us.
No, but you know, and you look back in hindsight, and you're like, yeah, I was an idiot.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, we looked at it like they're picking on us.
Right.
You know, they're being nitpicky and
82 murders in Jackson so far this year.
Yeah.
Not a single one was by cop.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to convince me that police are the problem.
Right. They're not. I don't believe they are.
You know, so...
In fact, we need more of them.
You know, like 82 murders in Jackson. Not a single one this year by the police.
Somebody said cops are rude. Respect is earned. If they won't tell me why I'm being stopped before asking for ID, I'm not giving it.
I understand that too. I mean, that's true. I won't argue with that.
That's no.
But you know,
if you're pulled over by the police,
you probably know why you got pulled over.
Well, of course, and normally they will tell you. Yeah. But you know, if they pull you over and ask you for your ID, you're supposed to give them your ID and proof of insurance.
Well, they can't just pull you over to just ask you for your ID and insurance. They have to have probable cause. I want to know what that is.
You won't fight the police on Saturday?
That's not fighting. That's simply asking a question. That's civil. That comes back into civil liberties.
I just don't think it's worth that. Nothing to me is worth that. I would rather just show them my ID and my insurance and say, "What did I do, officer?"
We different. You want to fight for flags and stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. Then I'm just like, I'll argue with the cops a little bit, and you're like, no, I'll just submit.
Well, I'm not saying I won't argue with a cop but I don't mind the whole being pulled over and asked for my ID and insurance. Like, to me, if that's a problem with you, then you probably have a reason.
Yeah, look, it's one of the reasons I have cameras facing every direction I'm at nowadays.
I don't have a problem giving them anything. So,
I mean, if I get pulled over, I'm recorded. But look, again, it just goes back to
listen to your wife. LOL.
Yeah. No. I mean, I do listen. I mean, look, you can ask any cop that I've had any interactions with. I mean, I'm respectful, and look, I was driving through Byram about a year ago, maybe longer than that. It was the last time I got pulled over, so however long ago that was. Well, there was one night in Raymond I accidentally ran a red light, and the cop pulled me over and was about to give me a ticket and ended up letting me go because I think he realized it was actually a mistake. You know, I really didn't mean to. I ended up out in the middle of the road, and it was either get sideswiped or run the red light. Mm-hmm. Driving blind at night. I think he felt bad for me, but the last time I got pulled over in Byram, it was I got pulled over in the Reed Pierce parking lot going to get lunch. Mm-hmm. Cop swore my front windshield was tinted, like all the way down, and he got my driver's license and kept putting it up against the windshield, mm-hmm. like then in the middle of the day with his flashlight doing something crazy, and he ended up giving me my license back and saying have a good day, and I was like. You know, it killed him because you could just tell it was like that was his way of saying he was wrong without apologizing or anything.
Just move on with your life.
Yeah, I just pulled on up in the parking spot, went in and got some fried chicken and called it a day. But
WT Watcher said, if you give up your liberties for security, you deserve neither. Well, if you give up your security for liberty, you deserve neither. You have to have security. You just have to. And they're not always right. They're just not. But it's a part of...
Yeah, I got into a little off subject, but on it at the same time. I got into a conversation with somebody at work over the last year, and we were talking about how warrants for traffic violations are kind of a trap. You kind of get trapped into the system. Mm-hmm. And then they suspend your license, and then they pull you over and you drive without a license, and it's tickets and jail, and it's just it gets you hooked.
Yeah.
And it was like well, there has to be some kind of punishment for driving 100 miles an hour in a 50. Mm-hmm. Because you're putting other people's lives in danger. But I do agree that if it doesn't directly affect anybody at that particular moment in time, mm-hmm. It does suck for them to be able to get their tentacles on you and just keep you trapped forever. Mm-hmm. It's like you get on probation and you smoke some pot and you're back on probation and you're back in jail. And it's just like, when is it ever enough just to leave people the hell alone? And
I mean, believe me, there's cops that I know that I don't care for. But but I still support, police officers. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need them, and I say this all the time, that the very people that are hollering defund the police are the ones that need the cops the most.
Well, they're probably the ones that'll call them when.
It's people in high crime areas that need the police more than people in the suburbs do. Mm-hmm. Most people in the suburbs got sniper spots and Leopold scopes, just dying to use any of that stuff. It's like one just wanting to change the name of their neighborhood to Wisha MF Woods, and then but we don't, we're in Jackson, but we're close to the edge of Jackson. I still consider this more the suburbs. Mm-hmm. But let's just say you get out like into Brandon and Pearl and Florence and those type areas. Mm-hmm. You're not getting a lot of trash out there, because if somebody comes out there that ain't supposed to be out there, the whole county knows before they get to where they're going. Mm-hmm. Every road might as well be a dead end road if you come into Rankin County with a Hines County tag. Mm-hmm. They know you're there. And I don't know exactly where I'm going with this. I guess I'm just saying that those areas police themselves, the citizens police themselves very well. Mm-hmm. Where in Jackson,
the citizens do not.
No, the
nobody. It's a no.
Yeah, it's no snitch.
No talk.
Yeah, nobody's doing anything. It's no self-policing. So it's tough. It really is. All right, we've been on here a little over an hour now. I got to work tomorrow, but then I'm off for 3 days. Excited about that little mini vacay. Need it. I'm burnt.
Gabe Young says, that's the problem. Jackson leaves everyone alone. You can't get a ticket any Jackson for expired tag. My tag was expired 2 months. I got pulled over 8 times. And then WTEW Watcher, I honestly think
Leo should take a 2-year civil law class, graduate with civil law degree. Hey, you know what? I don't have any problem with that at all. I mean, I do think...
We don't think they should not be more...
Yeah, training and...
training. We agree with that.
Constant training. I mean, look, man, I've been in sales for 10 years now. And I'm constantly having to get new certifications and constant training. I'm not saying law enforcement don't. I'm not in law enforcement.
Right.
But I think...
I have to complete stuff every year to keep my stuff.
I think that, constant, especially physical therapy and, not physical therapy, physical fitness and, just keeping up with all that stuff. You should always be pushed,
mm-hmm. To be better.
Yeah. But look, I understand the frustration in JPD. I mean, their promotions are non-existent. Pay raises are non-existent.
Have you seen the mayor?
yeah, the mayor hates police. His family hates police. They support the New Africa movement, and they killed police in Jackson. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can Google it. You know, this is real modern history. You know, killed JPD officers. So, I mean, just when they talk about being the most radical city, they ain't lying.
Well, it's not
their movement killed JPD officers in the 70s.
It's just not so black and white. There's gray.
No, there's absolute gray. It ain't always about race. It's about bad people. Mm-hmm. Man, look.
In every profession.
Look, man. If you know me and you've hung out with me for any extended amount of time, you know that 9 times out of 10, I get along better with black people than I do white people. It's just me. It always has been me. I just jihad better with people I feel like I have more in common with. You know, living in Jackson and growing up in South Jackson and stuff, I just connected better with more black folks and white folks that kind of grew up in the same way I did. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, as you get a little older, you know, you tend to get a little bit more tribal and kind of you just end up being around people that look like you, and I just don't think that's healthy at all. I think it's very healthy to get around and be around other people. I preach it on here all the time. You know, that's why I love still living in Jackson and still working where I work and, you know, usually being the minority in every situation I'm in. You know, I enjoy that. And I think it's healthy for people to be in that situation. It keeps you level-headed. That's why it angers me so much when people say some of the things they say about me. I'm like, you don't know me. You're thinking because somebody has an opinion, you know. Mm-hmm. Because I honest, you know, in my heart of hearts, I think that the black people I deal with day in, day out, that if I was really this evil, vile person that some of these white liberals claim that I am, they would keep me, they would check me. They would not allow me to be around like I am.
Kim says, now the kids have grown up and are after revenge. YTW Watcher. Police unions ensure cops get home insurance paid by taxpayers. They get paid very well.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure about that. You know, again, that sounds great. I don't know about it. I don't want to sit here and tell you, yeah, absolutely, that's fact. I assume you're not just saying it for the hell of saying it. I haven't heard that. I mean, hell, I disagree when people say that JPD should have to live. Like, if you work for the city, you should have to live here. I just think if you're the best person for the job and you don't want to live here, then great. But that's a little off course there, a little off track. Tanya says, law of the land. Even Native Americans have believed that. Yep. Gabe asked me, was I working Labor Day? No, I'll be off on Labor Day. I'm just working Saturday. No, Watcher, you good? You good? Enjoying the conversation? I think it's good to have opposing views. You can't have real. You can't get. If you only hang out with people and talk to people that agree with you,
you're never gonna grow.
Yeah, I mean, it's annoying. I don't need people to tell me, yeah, you're right all the time. I like to be told I'm wrong, or at least, you know, if you think I'm wrong, tell me why you think I'm wrong, and let's have a conversation about it. Mm-hmm. You know, I
tell him he's wrong all the time.
She does. I pride myself in not living in an echo chamber. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's easy to end up like that just based on your watching habits and, you know, and anything like that. If you lean right, you probably watch a lot of right-leaning stuff on YouTube and whatnot, and so that's all they're going to market towards you. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to get sucked into that vacuum. That's why I love our Jackson Uncensored group. It is a absolute hodgepodge of everybody, and a lot of disagreeing in there, and I like it. I try to read every post. At least I approve every one that's not just really, really bad.
Sonny, I agree with him. He said, today's society of my kid, my best friend is showing its face. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
All the people that didn't whoop their children and everybody got a trophy, we're all seeing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, the my kid is my best friend and the everybody gets a trophy stuff has got us in a big problem. you know, and you can see it in cities like Portland and stuff. He's crazy. You know, I don't know. I'm not going to get onto that tonight, but I think Civil War is about to pop off out on the West Coast. A bunch of white people fighting each other over race, with no black people involved at all. And it's a bunch of spoiled brats that feel like, I told you this is this, and you're supposed to believe me. I got a trophy for showing up. My mom told me I was her little angel.
You should have rode home with me after my daddy coached my softball games and see how you felt about yourself.
Look, I'll never forget. I said something to my mama one time. My mama never made a mistake of letting me think she was my best friend. We're friends now.
But you're 43 years old.
Yeah, growing up, my mom never played that "you're my best friend" card. We were right there on Raymond Road in front of Dairy Queen, in front, you know, by the Southwest churches, the Southside Assemblies and Southside Baptist Church. And I may have called my sister a bitch or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. My mom pulled her minivan up onto the sidewalk, almost hit cars head on, snatched a tree limb off of a tree. Not a switch, a tree limb. And beat me all the way to Castile Drive with that tree limb. Driving, bam, 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 bam. You know, I mean, I can only imagine, as bad as I was, I can only imagine if my parents hadn't have beat me, how bad I would be.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, just...
There is no telling.
And then there was another time and my mom's watching this right now, and I bet she is dying.
Well,
that I'm telling this story.
She might not want everybody to know.
No, she was a good mother, and I thank her for it.
Well, tell her that then.
Well, she's listening.
Okay. Well, say she was a good mother.
I just did.
Okay.
That's what I said. She was a good mother. You talk bad about her all the time. What are you talking about? Oh, kidding. Kidding. So there was one more time. We were riding down Forest Hill Road, heading from McClure towards Cooper, Forest Hill, Raymond, and all that. And I said something. We were going to church, and she slapped me. I don't know how you can drive and connect onto the face of your passenger so well, but moms have that down. Mm-hmm. You know, just like when you slam on the brakes and they put their arm in front of you to save you.
Yeah, I did it to Gracie tonight.
They can get that slap just right. But yeah, moms can go, yeah. especially South Jackson moms. You know,
all day.
Well, I guess technically my mom was a Rankin County woman, but I grew up in South Jackson. But mom was from Rankin County, but Florence to be exact. So, okay, that's it. Before I get myself in any more trouble, telling stories about my mom beating me up as a kid.
That's not beating you up.
But my mom was also in law enforcement. She has a whole chapter about her in this book here. Charlie Spiller's Confessions of an Undercover Agent. There's a whole story about my mom in here.
Kimberly said I was spanked every day. Yeah, me too, Kim.
Okay, we'll close it with this. But did anybody else, when you were out and you screwed up, and your parents said, "When we get home, you go get the belt"? Did that not just ruin your whole night, and the whole way home you're thinking, maybe they forgot about it?
Yeah, you're praying they did.
You're praying that you're so good, you're praying they forgot about it? Yeah. And you get home, they're like, "Well, go get the belt." And you're thinking, like, which belt's going to hurt the least?
You're in there feeling the different belts.
Watcher, yes, tomorrow, mid-afternoon. I've been meaning to call you for 2 days. Look, I'm the only finance manager at work right now, and we've been selling 7 or 8 cars a day, so it has absolutely killed me having any conversations. Yeah, so I remember we were at the Hill one time over off Valley Street, and I showed my butt, and they were like, "When we get home, you pick the belt." And I went and I found this old leather belt that it would hardly even bend. So I knew it wouldn't hurt too bad. Because, if you could snap a belt and it popped, those are the ones that hurt the most. Whoosh! It sounded like a whip,
strap. Yeah.
And I found like this old like urban cowboy belt that would barely even bend. I was like, this will be the one. It won't hurt as bad. Man, they went right back in and got that old leather strap and brought it in. And I had my hand back there. And this is going to hurt me worse than it hurts you. And I'm laughing and crying. And they're getting mad that I'm laughing. Oh, it was...
I would have to go pick a switch. And I would pick one and I kind of whoop myself with it a little bit. Is that bad? Yes. I would like pick one and like whoop a little bit and be like, no. Pick one.
Try to numb it up a little.
Well, I just wanted to say what it felt like a little.
I'll tell you, man. I can only imagine how bad I would be if I hadn't spent half my life getting beat. Tanya, if y'all noticed, the bushes have all died out. Yeah. And,
this one.
Yeah, we still have the burning bush here. Yeah, we had a bush out in the front yard of our house off Raymond Road that I had to pull so many switches off of to get beat with that it had a chunk missing out of it.
You didn't whoop yourself with switches.
Oh, I never tried. Maybe I did. Hell, I don't know.
You're making me feel like a crazy person.
Most of my butt whoopings were so spontaneous. Mom just would snatch it and start beating.
Well, they're all different, but
she's gonna call me after this is over and be like, "Why are you telling everybody that I beat you?" My sister rarely ever got it.
Kristen is so sweet.
They're all the ones out rolling yards, and I have to tell you all the story about the time the crazy lady showed up here with a knife after my sister and them went rolling yards and knocking on doors and running off and all that stuff. Good times, for sure. I'm
sure I'll hear things tomorrow like, you used to spank yourself with switches? Yes, I did. I tried them all out.
Yeah, the flag is straight tonight. Crystal had enough. They straightened it out the other night. So, she's been recovering from a terrible meatloaf burning incident.
It was... You didn't even tell them what happened. I don't even know what you told people.
Crystal tripped over an extension cord the other night. So
she just tripped over. I almost died.
It was a bad night for her. She's recovered. Okay, we're done. Good night, y'all. I'm sure we'll be back live again tomorrow night. If not, I know we'll definitely be back on Sunday with Spooner over here doing an interview with me. Y'all enjoy your Labor Day. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace. Y'all share this video.